This video is a guide in order for you to earn the achievement Memory of Scholomance. This is a really good achievement to obtain because it allows you to enter the original version of the dungeon that was previously in the game pre the Mists of Pandaria expansion. This will allow you to farm for old content should you wish to do so, but it's also nice just to visit the old content for those who may be nostalgic. So in order to do this, you first need to obtain the toy called Krastinov's Bag of Horrors. Now some of you who have played the game for a number of years may already have this item as I did in your toy box. To check if you have it, open up your toy box by pressing Shift and P, then select the toy box tab at the bottom of the screen. In the search box, type in bag to see if you have it. If you do have it, then drag it onto your bars, as you will need it briefly for what we are about to do. If you do not have it, then this is a drop from the rare boss, Dr. Theolin Krastinov, in Scholomance on heroic difficulty. He appears in the Butcher's Sanctum, which is the room immediately after defeating Rattlegore, who was the third boss in the dungeon. If you do not have it, then you will need to run Scholomance on heroic difficulty, and repeatedly defeat up to Rattlegore until Krastinov appears in the next room, and then defeat him to obtain the toy. He does not have a 100% chance of spawning, so you may need to do this a number of times. Having a number of alts can help speed up this process. If you do already have it, or if you have now obtained it, then you can follow the rest of this guide and complete the achievement. You will also need to obtain 5 Essence of Undeath and 3 Dark Runes. These are dropped by various enemies in the Eastern and Western Plaguelands, but I highly recommend you just buy them on the auction house, as they are relatively cheap and it will save you a lot of time. These will be needed to create a trinket called the Spectral Essence later on in the guide. It is possible that you may already have this trinket if you have kept it in your bag or bank over the years, so you can always check beforehand before you purchase these items. Now once you have these items, make your way to the Scholomance Dungeon, which is in the Western Plaguelands in the Eastern Kingdoms in Azeroth, as shown on the map, coordinates 7074. Head inside the dungeon and make your way to the final boss, who is Darkmaster Gandling. Now once in this room, simply defeat the boss, and after doing so, all of the gates in the area will open. At this point, use the toy Krastinov's Bag of Horrors and you will gain the appearance of the Doctor for 10 minutes. Then head into the room directly opposite the stairs on the top floor. Run all the way up to the pile of bones on the ground and an NPC named Eva will appear, and she will be shaking in fear. Please note the following events will not show for me, since I have already completed this achievement and it unlocks it for all of your characters. At this point, click onto your buff to dismiss it, and then you will be able to speak to Eva. She will give you an inert spectral essence. Open your bags and right click onto it and you will create the spectral essence trinket using the items we previously obtained. Now turn to the pile of bones on the floor and pick up Eva's femur that is next to them. You may as well just equip the trinket now, as this will allow you to see and interact with the undead residents in the city surrounding the dungeon, which you will need to do later in the guide. After this, leave the instance via the entrance, as we still have things to do in the area. Once you are back outside, you will see Eva next to the entrance as shown on the map, coordinates 7074, so once again speak to her. Go through her dialogue options and she will have asked you to obtain her journal and 5 candles in order for her to perform a ritual. So for Eva's journal, we need to head back into the dungeon and make your way back to the viewing room. In the bottom right hand corner of the room there are 2 bookcases. On the middle shelf of the left bookcase you will see the journal behind the books. You may need to zoom in to see it better. Then click onto it to pick it up. Then once again leave the instance. Now in order to get the 5 candles, we need to obtain 5 items. We will then trade in these items to certain NPCs in return for the candles. So first we need to head to Darroshire in the eastern plague lands, as shown on the map, coordinates 3684. At this location you will see a Trampled Doll on the ground next to a vehicle. Click onto it to pick it up. Next we need to head to Corrin's Crossing, as shown on the map, coordinates 5665. Head inside of the building, and to the right of the bar on the wall is the road ahead painting. Click onto it to pick it up. Next we need to head to Straholme, as shown on the map, coordinates 2812. And go inside of the instance. Once inside, head straight down the middle and turn left at the bottom next to the signpost. Again head straight ahead and once again turn left at the signpost. Go past the fountain and you will see a cart. On the back of the cart you will see a box of an undelivered shipment of smokes. Click on these to pick them up. Next we need to head to the western plaguelands and go to Andorhal, as shown on the map, coordinates 4469. Head inside of the building and you will see the deed to Andorhal hanging on the wall. Simply click onto it to pick it up. Finally we need to head back to Scholomance and go to the fountain right near the entrance, as shown on the map, coordinates 6979. You will see a bucket of fountain water on the fountain itself, so again click onto it to pick it up. So now that we have all of these items, we need to hand them in to various NPCs in the area in order to obtain all 5 of the required candles. So make sure you have your Spectral Essence trinket equipped in order to speak to them. The Trampled Doll is handed over to Sammy, the little girl in the haze of mist right next to the fountain, as shown on the map, coordinates 6979. She can be hard to see, but upon doing this you will receive your first candle. The fountain water is handed over to Joseph Dirt, as shown on the map, coordinates 6875. Do this to receive your second candle. If you take too long to hand this one over, the water will evaporate and you will need to pick up the fountain water again. The road ahead painting is handed over to artist Renfrew inside a building, as shown on the map, coordinates 6575. Do this to receive your third candle. The undelivered shipment of smokes is handed into Rory on the docks, as shown on the map, coordinates 6376. Do this to receive your fourth candle. The deed to Andorhal is handed into Magistrate Marduk, as shown on the map, coordinates 7174. Do this to receive your fifth and final candle. Now that you have all 5 candles, head back to the entrance of Scholomance, and instead of turning left and going through the door to enter the dungeon, this time turn right inside of the building and follow the path around until you come to a room with a grate and bones on the floor. Now open up your bags and click onto Eva's journal to perform the ritual. This will pop the achievement Memory of Scholomance, along with a lectern holding Eva's enchanted journal. You can now click onto the journal to run the old dungeon of Scholomance that was in place before Mists of Pandaria, and obtain old transmog if you wish to do so. So thanks for watching, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.